White people and shrimp.
I got it.
If we have the same thing, I'm going to scream.
Okay.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Seth
Lobster.
Green.
2, 3, 4. Who killed your darlings?
We're not good at podcasting yet.
Don't say that. We're amazing at it. This is top-notch work. Best ever. Give us the awards. Thank you very much. Goodbye. I love you.
After going through the first 2 episodes we recorded, we both were just like, do we hate ourselves?
Because I texted Robyn when we were like going through the edits, and I was like, I am finding myself very annoying.
Yeah.
I kind of hate myself.
Yeah. I'm trying to be much, you know what it is? I get excited and then the Southern Californian born and raised comes out, the Valley Girl speech. I didn't see, the thing that I'm hoping is I did not notice it on you. I could not stop fixating on me.
Okay, see, I had the opposite. I didn't notice it on you, but I noticed it on me.
That means you had the same experience as me.
I'm sorry. I meant that whatever. What the fuck?
Basically,
it's hard to watch yourself.
Yeah.
There are very few people who are like comfortable watching themselves.
I also don't even think anybody was truly born comfortable watching themselves. I think it's an exposure therapy thing. I think you just kind of become indifferent. I don't even think most people get to a place where they love it. I think they just get to a place where they can be a little more objective.
Mm-hmm. There was one time in high school, it was like the last day of school in my I took Japanese in high school. It was like my Japanese.
Of course you took Japanese.
I took 1 year of Japanese and switched to French because, spoiler alert, Japanese is hard.
Yeah, any language that requires you to learn a whole other alphabet just breaks my brain.
But like we had our Japanese like projects because it was just like a free day because it was the last day of school.
Yeah.
We put on my project and we were on the classroom was on the first floor. This is important because once he put my project on, I literally climbed out the window to get away from watching myself on the TV.
Okay.
Yeah.
So good thing we have a podcast on video.
I was 14. I'm 30 now. I can handle it better.
It was exceptionally painful to watch yourself as a kid. Yeah. I remember did you read, what was it, like By the Great Horn Spoon? What was it? It was about the gold rush.
I think it's By the Great Horn Spoon.
I think I read that in 5th grade, and we were each assigned a chapter where we had to film us acting out like a scene.
Like torture.
It was hard too because it's all that, kind of old-timey speak that's just like, that would be cheaper, gents, like that type of speech.
Or like a prospector, like
you sounded like a witch.
That's my prospector. Like
great.
Those are the guns going off. I'm Yosemite Sam, everybody.
That sounded a little bit like a Halloween cackle.
Yeah, well.
But I remember it was really painful to watch when mine came up on the thing, especially as a tiny child, and it never got better. But anyway, so we decided to start off this chit-chat episode. Well, I decided, and I told Adriana that's what we're doing. I'm not going to pretend like I made this a collaborative thing. But if she said she didn't want to do it, I would say okay.
I would have been honest with you. I'm down for it. I'm down for it.
Thank you. I just tried to be hyper aware of whether or not I'm just like steamrolling.
Again, I would tell you if you were.
But so the word association game I thought would be it'll either be really fun or really stupid, just like life.
So if it's stupid, we might cut it or leave it in if it's funny.
Or if we think it's funny. Because really at the end of the day, you start a podcast because you think you're funny and then you hope other people agree.
Word association game. Let's do it.
Word association game. Where'd we leave off? If you're online at all, there's a good chance you've seen it. Here we go. You'll pick up on it once we get going. Okay. First word that comes to mind, top of your head. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, boots.
Elephant.
Okay. Boots and elephant. I have something that probably doesn't make sense, but it'll be crazy if we both get there. All right. 1, 2, 3,
leather.
Cobbler. Okay. Cobbler and leather. Cobbler and leather. It feels so obvious that I can't think of anything.
I have one. I have one that's really unhinged, and then I have a normal one.
Okay, I just thought of one that's unhinged. Let's go for
Okay.
it. Okay, 3, 2, 1. John Wayne
Elves.
Gacy.
I guess I don't know the meaning of the word unhinged.
Do you see how I got there?
No!
He made furniture out of skin. Am I mixing him up with somebody else?
No, I think you're right.
Hold on.
See, mine was like, mine made sense too, though, right?
What? What?
The word that I said, it made sense.
I forgot what you
I
said.
said elves.
For cobbler and because they were making shit.
Yeah, like the elves and the shoemaker.
The shoemaker. What?
It's a fairy tale, like the elves and the shoemaker. Where like the elves come and help the shoemaker make the shoes in the middle of the night, and then
I've never heard that.
yeah, John Wayne Gacy makes perfect sense.
It does, and you're wrong. Damn it! It wasn't John Wayne Gacy. It was Ed Gein.
Oh, see, that I knew.
I just got.
I was like, for all I knew, there could be multiple people who did that.
I mean, I'm sure there are. Ed Gein and John Wayne Gacy are filed away in the same pocket of my brain.
What pocket is that?
The dark pocket.
Okay, let's go on from elves and John Wayne Gacy. This could go anywhere.
Fuck. Should we just give up on this fucking game? We're gonna play the word association game, and we're gonna actually
And we're gonna do it right this time.
do it right. So 3, 2, 1. Buttons. Why didn't you say anything?
I didn't have a word.
Then just open your mouth and let something come out.
Okay.
You know, like, have you played like the normal word association game where like I say like something and then you say something?
Yeah, I think I can do that one.
Okay, but
Let's,
this just
no, I can do this. I can do this.
okay.
Slap me in the face. Let's do it.
I'm not gonna slap you.
Okay.
All right. This game is dangerous. 3, 2, 1. Mac and
Australia.
cheese. Mac and cheese in Australia. I've never been to Australia.
Neither have I.
I hope they have mac and cheese there.
My friend's in Australia right now. That's why I said it.
Is she eating mac and cheese?
For all I know, she could be.
Okay. Mac and cheese in Australia. 3, 2, 1.
White
Shrimp.
people.
I was thinking like shrimp on the Barbie.
I like it.
Thank you. White people. There aren't just white people in Australia. White people and shrimp.
I got it.
If we have the same thing, I'm going to scream.
Okay.
Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Seth
Lobster.
Green. He would appreciate that.
Okay.
Let's just give up on the game so I can explain that.
I fucking loved it.
So, Adriana,
This is going right into what we want to talk about, though. So this is actually
that's
like
why I thought maybe we
perfect.
were on the same ride. What did you say?
I said lobster.
Oh, okay. I think I see how you got there.
Thank you.
Between shrimp and white people.
Yeah,
That's a very white person meal.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So Seth Green.
So Seth Green is tiny man, big energy. Adriana recently started watching Buffy. I have loved Buffy for many, many years. And because in the next episode, we're talking about Blue is for Nightmares. And then what I find funny is she texted me, she was like, I feel like watching Buffy for reasons I don't know why. And I was like, it's literally referenced in Blue is for Nightmares.
No, I know, but like it's referenced in Blues for Nightmares, but I'm like, why do I want to watch it all of a sudden? You know, like
Because it planted a seed.
I guess so. It just planted a seed.
Anyway,
I like started watching Buffy like 4 years ago. And I made it like 6 episodes in, and I just dropped off for reasons unknown.
Yeah.
And I forgot about it. And then this just like kind of like, oh yeah, I want to finish watching that.
I love Buffy. If anybody out there wants to know if I've watched Angel, I haven't. I am a strict Buffy girl because I like the, badass female fighter. I also like where the story originated. And like, yes, we all know Joss Whedon is problematic.
Yeah.
We can separate the art from the artist. He did say, though, that the reason he wanted to make stuff like this is because he was tired of like the pretty girly blonde girl dying first in the horror movie. So he wanted to make her the hero.
And I will say it's pretty, I mean, there's other issues like with Buffy, but we're seeing it through like it was made in the 90s. That's kind of like changes culturally how we view it and how things have aged.
Yeah.
But it's kind of actually really great to see like a female character who's like girly and likes to wear dresses.
She's
and, like,
into like, hair care products and she wears a wide variety of like what one would call girly clothes.
But
and
she's also like kick ass.
Yeah,
so,
she's so badass and she's a fighter, but she's also like, did I break a nail?
Yeah.
Like, and very like, no, I'm like, but boys dating, school dance.
Yeah,
Like,
so it's like it's interesting. It's really great to see a complex character like that. There's other issues with Buffy, but in that, it like that's like such a great thing to see.
Yeah,
and it's
and-
something that we don't see all the time 30 some years later now anyway.
yeah,
so.
it's because it's getting a little bit better these days. We still have a long way to go, but a lot of studio heads had this idea. I think I may have even mentioned this in one of the other episodes, but that films starring men appeal to all audiences, films starring women only appeal to women, and that's just not true. It's also kind of like when Bo Burnham, one of my favorite artists, when he made 8th Grade, he wrote that script. The main character is a young woman, but he was like, my anxieties, I relate much more to the women in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So this character was always a woman. He was like, she doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be a man to appeal to more audiences because I relate to her and I'm sure other men do. And Joss Whedon also like said that there's some clip of at like some Comic-Con thing back in closer to Buffy's prime. Somebody asked, what inspires you to keep writing all of these like strong female characters? And he said, because you keep asking me that question. And I thought that was a really good answer.
Yeah.
So problems and abuse and all that stuff of Joss Whedon aside, he did do a really good thing for this arena by making a girly, badass female character, which is kind of the essence of what we're talking about with this podcast, where like things that are girly can also be badass. And very often society turns girly things into being stupid things. Mm-hmm. But Buffy was just like, I'm girly and I'm going to kick your ass.
Yeah.
And that's amazing.
Yeah. So I'm really enjoying it. Robyn and I are pretty much the same age.
I thought you were about to say pretty much the same person.
We're pretty much the same person. But like, so Buffy came out, what was it, like 96, 97?
Yeah, I think it came out mid-90s.
Yeah.
And it wrapped up in like 2005, I
Yeah.
think.
So like, it was going on when I was like, kind of like
I think we were a hair too young when it was actually on TV.
Yes, but there was like reruns. I was terrified of Buffy. I have a very
Adriana's a little
overactive-
bit of a scaredy cat.
I am.
And I mean that with all the love in the world. I don't mean that in a patronizing
I can watch
way.
stuff now, but like, and even like when I was in high school, I was watching like Vampire Diaries, which is very similar. I'm not saying it's as good as Buffy. Buffy is better.
You're not allowed to say Vampire Diaries and Buffy are similar outside of the fact that they both involve vampires.
A lot of the storylines in Buffy,
I've
they
never
did in Vampire Diaries.
So Vampire Diaries copied Buffy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like, I was like, I had a very overactive imagination as a child. I was very anxious. That, coalesced into me being afraid of everything. So I was like, Buffy was way too scary for me. Same thing with Jurassic Park. I'm like, this could actually happen, guys. This is not a fun time.
I mean,
this is a warning.
I mean, since all the ice on the planet is melting and strange prehistoric bacteria is being discovered, who knows what could happen.
Thanks for that, Robyn.
You're welcome. No, it's funny because I'm very anxious as well, and I was a very anxious, scared child too. But you make me feel kind of brave.
I'm not as scared as I used to be.
But even like you describing some things, I thought I was the max, and I was like, oh, I feel like maybe Adriana was the max scared, and I was like a couple prongs beneath that. Yeah. Because even to this day, sometimes something I'll recommend a show, and you'll be like, I can't watch that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh,
it's true.
It's really good though.
I'm like watching Yellow Jackets right now. That's a pretty scary show. It's really creepy. I can't watch it past 5:00.
See, that's where we differ.
Yeah. It's like, and I like watching all these like true crime shows and everything and these like supernatural, like thrillery stuff. Buffy I can watch anytime, but there are some shows like I just can't watch past 5:00 because if I'm alone in my house, I'm like, I'm gonna die tonight.
See, I do feel like shows like Buffy, it did really well with practical effects and CGI for the time.
It really did.
But nowadays with what we can do, it very often looks pretty corny. So I think that diminishes the scare factor.
Yeah,
because
like
some of it is just like, okay.
there was like one episode I was watching like in like upstairs when I was getting ready for bed, and Eric was like, he was finishing up work on something, and it was like the episode where with the hyenas.
Yeah.
So it was like when they're like Willow and they're like
Very
scraping.
spooky.
It is pretty spooky. And Eric came in and he was like, "This sounds really scary, Adriana. Are you sure you should be watching this?" And I was like, "It's Buffy." And he's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, but yeah, it's definitely spooky. And I will say and you haven't gotten to them yet, but there's a handful of episodes that psychologically fucked me up for a while. Like, I won't spoil anything. It takes a minute to get there, but
I'm
there's
like halfway through season 2.
If there are any Buffy fans out there, there's one episode, if you know, well, I mean, there's 2 like very upsetting, more psychological, like realism type stuff that just fuck you up. And one of them even leaves you on a like, what is the answer to this thing we don't really know? And it just leaves you.
That's like similar to like some Doctor Who episodes. Because I was a big Doctor Who fan.
I watched it until Matt Smith left, and then I was done.
Yeah, same. There was one Doctor Who episode though. It was with David Tennant where like
Don't Blink?
No, that one I love.
I love Don't Blink.
And
I
it's
love
so creepy.
arranging letter magnets in stores to say
Yeah.
Don't Blink.
But there's another one. It's in that same season, I think, where he's like on like a spaceship and they're traveling and there's like something in there that's like possessing everybody in the spaceship.
Sounds familiar.
And it's really creepy. And then like the people who are possessed are like mirroring each other as they talk. And it's so creepy. But the episode, I mean, spoiler, this has been on for like 15 years. So if it's spoiled and you're upset, then who gives a shit?
Yeah.
But like you never find out what it is.
Okay.
And it's so creepy that I can't watch that episode.
Yeah. I'm really interested to see what you think of the Buffy episode that I'm thinking of. But yeah.
Because I've been like
not until,
sending
like,
Robyn
season
like
6.
live texts as I'm watching the shows.
Buffy is one of my comfort TV shows.
It's kind of becoming my comfort TV show too.
It's just, I enjoy it so much. I think
It's just a good time.
it also balances a level of self-awareness that I really appreciate with some quippy dialogue or even just little comments about the town. Like, this isn't spoiling anything, but I don't think you've gotten to this episode yet. Like, there's, it's one of the random guys at the school. It pans over on the first day of their senior year, I think. And he's like, "This year, dude, is our year for football. As long as we do blah, 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 and don't have as many mysterious deaths, we're gonna rule." And like, it's just shit like that makes me happy, because that's the stuff that I think people get really, their shorts in a major uproar about.
Yeah, and it's just like, who the fuck
When it's
cares?
just like, people get mad of just like, wouldn't people know that there's all these vampires in this town? Wouldn't people know? And it's just little self-awareness things. And also you learn more about how the town navigates this too. But
I'm still interested in like how Giles didn't get arrested for the murder of his girlfriend.
I mean, they wouldn't have arrested him immediately.
I know, but like she was found in his bed and it like looked like they were having like a romantic evening.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, how did he get out of that? That I'm curious to know. Everything else I'm okay with.
I mean, you're not going to get an answer.
No, I know.
They just blow past that.
I know. And I'm like, I'm fine with it, but I'm just like, I wonder why. Or like how Willow is suddenly like the substitute teacher. And I'm like, why didn't you hire an adult?
That is one of those things where, and just as somebody who's fairly well versed in the inner workings of TV, they didn't want to hire an actor to do that.
Well, then just don't show the class.
I think they needed to, I don't want to spoil anything for you, to find the floppy disk.
Oh, right. Yeah, because when Angel was like burning up the thing, and I was like, you didn't get everything, bitch. You forgot the floppy disk.
Yeah. So they need to be in her classroom.
All right, fine. I get it.
To come across all of her pagan stuff. But
anyway, Seth Green.
Seth Green is, for anyone who didn't know, he's in Buffy. He and Sarah Michelle Gellar have known each other their whole lives. They're very close.
Mm-hmm.
He's a shorter man.
I think he's like my height. He's like the same height as us.
I've never looked it up, but one thing that I do love about Seth Green is that if anybody has seen Buffy, his character in Buffy is so polar opposite any characters he's played in his more mainstream trajectory.
Yeah, because what I know about Seth Green, like the first time I was introduced to Seth Green was Austin Powers.
Right. I always forget he was
and that 70s show.
Oh, wait, he dated somebody.
No, he played like this really creepy guy who was like really into Donna. And they just made a lot of like height jokes because they were such different heights.
Right.
And he was really creepy, but he was so funny in that show.
Right. Allison Hannigan played somebody who dated somebody in that 70s show. She briefly dated somebody.
You could be right. I can't remember.
No, I'm pretty sure I am. I just don't remember.
Yeah. I know I can't remember.
But he was also in Without a Paddle.
I didn't see that. And I judge you for seeing it, is what I didn't say.
That was how Dax Shepard
assumed I did.
That's just one of those movies that I feel like every kid around that time saw, at least at like a sleepover or something.
I was watching like Josie and the Pussycats or Rocky Horror Picture Show. There's no in between.
Yeah, but it's not one or the other.
I don't know. Like for some reason I just missed that.
Anyway, basically he was a big
raunchy,
slapsticky comedian, but his character in Buffy is very solemn.
Love his character.
He's a man of few words in Buffy.
But he's so cute.
I won't spoil the major storyline, but can I spoil a little future plot point that's very fun?
That he's a werewolf?
No,
I already know that.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So there's an episode where somebody can read minds at one point, and when they're talking about what's going to happen, it kind of goes around the table and you hear what's going on in Xander's mind and Willow's mind and then Oz's mind. And Willow starts freaking out that they can read Oz's mind and she has no idea what he's thinking about ever. And he's having this whole moment where he's like, if this happens, then this happens, this whole existential thing of like, and then it means that everything exists and nothing exists, these like deep philosophical things. And then he just out loud just goes, huh. But he has this really long philosophical existential crisis monologue in his head, and then he just goes, huh.
I think he also did that. There was an episode where Buffy was like a rat, and then she turned it back into a human, and she was naked, and he was just like, huh.
Yeah, he's a man of few words.
He's so funny.
We love,
He kind of reminds me a little bit of Eric.
Okay. I don't see it, but that's lovely.
Just because Eric is a man of few words as well.
So that's the single thread.
And they play guitar.
Yeah, Oz is in a band. We were also both talking about how it's troubling that we still want evil Angel
I love how
without a soul to like us.
And I said this to you, that I was like, I love how that now that he's bad, he just starts smoking cigarettes. When he could have been smoking cigarettes the entire time because he's already dead. And it doesn't matter.
No, bad people smoke cigarettes. That's what Dare was trying to teach us.
Does he wear eyeliner as Evil Angel?
Probably.
I think so.
I
just would love if he just started wearing shirts but like not buttoning them
Not
as
buttoning them all the
Evil
way.
Angel, and he's just like, look at me, I have no respect for dress codes. Ha 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 ha.
I was thinking about this though. So his punishment for how evil he truly was returning his soul to him so he would live basically with an eternity of guilt and pain and suffering and torture for the evil things he did before he had a soul.
Mm-hmm.
What if you could give somebody empathy? I think that would be the ultimate punishment. Like Ted Bundy's in jail.
But like
and
empathy and anxiety.
I think if you've done horrible things and you get some empathy, it comes
But
hand
I
in
just
hand.
think they would be more tortured if they would have an eternity.
Well, I'm just
of
talking
anxiety.
like, the feelings of having a soul,
Yeah.
and empathy is probably the biggest umbrella term for that. But I was just thinking it would be crazy if, you take these horrific killers and if you could give them, like, that would probably be, they sit in jail for the rest of their lives and they are just tormented because they suddenly have feelings.
Yeah, that is like a pretty, that's a pretty good punishment.
Right?
Yeah.
And then on
pretty-
top of that, you can't ever, the second you experience true happiness with your soul, it goes away.
Yeah.
So
I was like, I guess that's kind of sucky because that kind of takes away like I mean, he was happy with Buffy, but he was still like really tortured.
I don't think you ever get over the horrible things he did.
No.
But I do understand the people who cursed him don't want him to be happy.
Yeah.
But if we're talking from an angle of prison reform,
he's still not like he's found some kind of shred of like normalcy and like happiness with Buffy, but he's still like very tormented.
Yeah.
He's broody. He's a broody man.
Yeah, but true. Look, I'm not a part of the pagan community that, or was it a Romani community?
It was Romani.
That, and I mean, they were, and pagan, pagan Romani.
Yeah.
Community that cursed him. But I understand that, but also if I'm thinking just from a space of like, what countries do it better than us? Every single one with prison reform? Sweden. Have you seen photos of their...
Yeah, it looks like a college dorm room.
I would be so comfortable there.
It looks better than my college dorm room.
Seriously, so everybody go commit crimes in Sweden. Or would they send us back here? What happens when you commit a crime in another country?
I don't know. I think
it depends on the country.
I think you get extradited if you commit a crime in a country and then leave that country.
You get pulled back to that country.
To the country that you committed the crime.
Right.
Because, like, remember in Before We Were Innocent, the book we were talking about a couple weeks ago, she went to prison in Italy or Greece, wherever the fuck they were.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
And Amanda Knox was in jail in Italy.
Yeah, that's where I got it from.
But
anyway, Sweden,
they really focus on rehabilitating criminals into society. Mm-hmm. And they have some of the lowest crime rates.
Yeah. It's recidivism. I always forget the definition. I think it's like the committing crimes again. So I think they lower the rates of
repeat offenders?
Yeah, repeat offenders. I just like the word recidivism.
I'm not even going to try to say it. They lower the... Because they're looking at it also from a psychological standpoint, not just a... Because a lot of people in jail or in the... what's the word for, like, the crime sphere?
Criminal justice? Or crime?
Bad? Yeah. A
lot of people in bad.
In the system, I guess, is they are from communities and raised in situations where it would have been shocking if they hadn't followed that path.
Yeah, like there's no safety nets for them.
Yeah, because like for me, I could have become a criminal if I really wanted to, but I was born and raised in such a privileged area that it makes sense why statistically myself and a lot of the people I grew up with are not criminals because we had so much privilege. But yeah, it's just one of those things where I think we really do need to look at people and be like, hey, you never had a fair shot.
Plus,
why don't we help you get one?
It would be cheaper in the long run, I think.
No? Because prisons are privatized. They make money off of having as many people in them as possible in America. That's why even though we've criminalized marijuana, there's still so many people in jail for possession of marijuana. There are people in jail for possession of marijuana for longer than violent offenders. Release all the people who were arrested for marijuana possession or growing and keep the violent offenders in there.
Yeah,
Jesus
who the
Christ.
Fuck cares about marijuana?
The Lord.
Fun.
But the moral of the story is if we could give, I don't know, sociopaths empathy, what a punishment.
I know, right?
I'm very intrigued by the experience of moving through the world without
a soul.
Empathy or feelings. Because I'm a Pisces and I feel things too much. For any of my astrology.
I was like, are you feeling them now?
Always and forever. For all of my astrology friends, I have a stellium in Pisces and Scorpio, if that answers any questions about me. It's a lot of water, a lot of feeling. And I'm just so, especially by the fact that sociopaths don't get nervous.
Which is why lie detectors are shit.
It's not the only reason.
No, but it's one of them.
One of them, yeah. But they're not reliable enough, I think.
I always wonder if I could beat a lie detector test. Like if I really worked at it, could I do it?
I just feel like because
Is that a weird thing to think?
No, I definitely wondered. It's kind of like when I told you, like, I don't want to get shot, but I'm curious about that level of pain.
Yeah.
And you made fun of me, but I think we can all understand, like, I'm not going to go out and get myself shot, but it's one of those things where it's like, what does it feel like?
Yeah, like,
you know?
could I survive that level of pain?
Yeah, like, or just being curious about how my body would react in that, or like to getting stabbed, just like things that are likely to not happen to me.
Yeah. We really have interesting conversations. That's why we started this podcast. You're welcome, the world.
Here's the thing. I don't think we're alone, and I think it takes one person to say the thing that they'll get judged for other people to be like, hey, wait, that's me too.
Yeah.
But also, I wonder about me and lie detector tests because my brain does this thing where it convinces me that I've done things I haven't done.
Yes.
And I saw this great thing about, so I struggle with OCD, and I saw this thing about a girl talking about how when they're checking bags at a concert venue or something like that, and she thinks to herself like, oh God, did I pack my gun? Oh God, I don't have a gun. Did I pack one? Did I get one to pack it? And
did somebody put a gun in my purse by accident?
Did somebody put a gun in my bag that I don't know about? Or am I gonna shoot up this vicinity? Like, it's just like crazy things where like I don't own a gun, never had a gun, never planned to own a gun. I think we should have more gun control. Sorry, not sorry.
No, I think we all agree.
But
gun control.
Lots of people don't. But my brain just does those things. So I feel like if I were taking a lie detector test, I wonder if because lie detector tests read the temperature of your skin, your sweat, and your heart rate, and I think maybe some pheromones, maybe even something. I don't know. They read biology. So I wonder if how tormented I can just make myself just sitting in my head. And nobody would be able to tell on the outside because I have a really good poker face. But how tormented I could make myself, would that just read as like, saying yes to things on a lie detector test that I haven't? Or like done, and then it reading as me telling the truth because I'm just like, I've convinced myself it probably happened.
Yeah. Or like I have this where like somebody gets mad at me at work or for something stupid that I like, it's a customer like I didn't do. And then they walk away and I'm like, did I actually do the thing that they did I do that? Was I wrong? Were they right? Is it me?
Yeah, replaying the situation in your head. Yeah, so I do wonder about that. I have also heard, those celebrity lie detector things where when somebody's on a press tour, they'll do it. I've heard that those are all rigged.
It wouldn't surprise me.
But I don't know. It would be, maybe we should get a lie detector test in here to ask us questions.
Are you actually my friend?
I say yes, and it goes, she's lying.
Do you actually like me as a person?
Well, what's funny is a lot of these things will ask questions between friends of like when has blah, blah, blah ever like annoyed you? And it's just
I know I've annoyed you. That's just what friends do.
We've both annoyed each other. But like,
I annoy myself.
Me too. But hold on, my train of thought's going away. Come back. Oh, but with those types of things, did you see it come back?
I did.
the light returned to my eyes. But oftentimes there's the situations where little things, if you call somebody out on every little thing they do that annoys you, that's not okay. You're obviously allowed to set boundaries with people and tell people, hey, when you do this, it really bothers me if it's a repeat thing. But if it's just like little things that people do, I think it's one of those things where pick your battles. Do you like this person? Do you enjoy having this person in your life? Great.
Or do you just want to
just deal with it?
A dick.
Yeah. It's also people... It's kind of reminding me of people who claim like they're just radically honest, and it's just like there's a difference between being radically honest. That's just an invitation to be an asshole.
Yeah, there's a difference between being honest and being direct and being, blunt.
Yeah.
And then being a fucking bitch.
Yeah, because it's also how you approach things, and people who claim to be radically honest never approach things delicately
or in a tactful way.
Yeah, because like if I think I used an example similar to this in the last one, but let's say I didn't like your sweater. I do.
What the fuck do you have against my sweaters?
I keep using your sweaters. But
this is a lovely sweater.
But like a radically honest person, if you said, oh, do you like this sweater? If I didn't like it, the radically honest person would be like, no, I think it's disgusting. That's fucking rude.
It's the fuggliest sweater I've ever seen.
But if I wanted to be honest but not hurt her feelings, I would say, it's not really my style. But so happy you're happy.
That's so passive aggressive.
Not the so happy you're happy.
So happy that you like it.
But just saying like, yeah, it's not really my style, but it looks good with your outfit,
There you go.
It's not really my style or whatever. You don't have to say like, I think it's fucking ugly.
Do you like my sweater?
Yes.
Okay.
I would not wear something with the shiny things just because that's not my style. But I like the color green. I like the green color.
Me too.
Yeah, that
I
shade
don't
of
usually wear the shiny things either, but I like it. I'm
it's
into
definitely
it, yeah.
definitely cute. Definitely a cute sweater. And I'm not covering up not liking it. I do like it.
Somebody get the lie detector in here.
I'm just not like a shine. I wear black 99% of the time.
I'm trying to. This is my way of working more color into my wardrobe with the sweaters that I wear.
That's nice. Yeah, you've been wearing a lot of color. What was the last? The last one was blue.
It was a blue.
Yeah, that was a nice one. Yeah, I'm not working on adding color in. I actually though. So in my acting class, I wear all black a lot. It's partially because I'm a Scorpio rising, and partially
Don't blame the Scorpio rising.
if you look at anybody describe the aesthetic of the rising signs and they get to Scorpio, they always talk about how Scorpios wear a lot of black.
What about Leos? Because I'm a Leo rising.
Leo rising? I can't remember. I do know Leo risings tend to have high cheekbones and big hair, and you have high cheekbones and curly hair.
My hair is so big.
Nicole's also a Leo rising, same thing.
That actually checks out.
Yeah. But I don't remember clothing-wise what they've said about Leo risings. But
I do have high cheekbones. These cheekbones could cut glass.
but I also am an anxiety sweater, so I sweat when I stress sweat.
I thought you said that you have you have a sweater
No, but that would be great.
that you wear when you have
Like a
anxiety.
like a weighted
like
sweater.
a weighted sweater.
Just buy me.
And
Someone
I
buy
was
me
like,
one.
great. Give me the name of that. I want one.
No, I sweat anxiously. So particularly in acting class, when you are doing vulnerable things, it is just it can be stressful and anxiety inducing. So I just like to be comfortable. And I like to wear baggier clothes in acting class, so I'm not worried about like, oh, this thing folded over weird and now my stomach's doing whatever. Yeah. So I wear the same like 4 things to acting class, right? And they're all black, right?
I do that when I'm in rehearsals for a show. I do not dress for rehearsals. I wear like workout clothes.
Yeah. You just want to be comfortable.
Yeah.
But one day I put on a new sweater I got that was white and black, like striped. And I wore that to class. And
I do know that sweater. I like that sweater.
Thank you. And I think I said I should put this on because I can't wear the same thing to acting class one more time. And Adriana goes, I don't think anybody will notice. And I was like, you know what? You're probably right. But I notice these things about people. So I think everybody else does. But here's the kicker. This guy in my class, Sharif, he came up to me and he said, I wore all black because you wear all black. And today you're not wearing all black.
I was
like, Sharif, I'm so sorry I let you down.
I mean, it had black in it. It was black and white.
Yeah, but I'm normally wearing like strictly all
head to toe
black.
black. Yeah.
I don't even know what the point of that story was, but
I liked it.
thank you.
So Buffy.
That was the saddest burp ever. I was hoping that would be more interesting. Buffy doesn't wear all black.
No. I've also
although Buffy's depressed clothing style when she's bummed matches my aesthetic. Because she's in like baggy pants and a baggy flannel.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, is this me?
Listen, those are I like to wear that stuff. I wear that stuff at home, when I'm at or going to rehearsal. I wear baggy flannels or there's a time and a place, and I'm not judging you for wearing that at all. I didn't mean that.
Even though you just said there's a time and a place for it, and I wear that everywhere.
Yeah, but
I wouldn't wear it to a fucking wedding.
No, but you have different styles, so it's not like this. You're not wearing sweatpants and a flannel all the time. You have different styles, but they're the same silhouette. So it works for the occasion that you wear them to.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's also hard. One thing with fashion, I have a complicated relationship with fashion, but I'm a freelancer. I work in entertainment. I work in the film industry. And for anyone who works in that type of field, also a lot of places in like jobs with dress codes are getting more casual.
Yeah.
But in film in particular, there's really no dress code.
Yeah.
People, I remember I was a finalist for this editing internship when I graduated college called the ACE internship. There's the American Cinema Editors. It's like, it's a union, but it's kind of like a frat. You have to be invited in. I don't really fully understand how it works.
It's all men?
Probably, unfortunately. No, but it's it's like a union, but there's a less clear path to qualify for it.
Okay.
From what I understand. Somebody out there can totally correct me if I'm wrong. But anyway, I was a finalist for this, and when you were a finalist, it was 12 finalists. We all went in to do an interview with like 7 editors in the industry.
That's actually really cool.
In a panel. It was very cool. I was the first one to go at this thing, and I was like, oh, damn it. Now I just get to tell everybody how to rock this interview.
Yeah. Now they get to learn from my mistakes.
Yeah, now everybody gets to do better than me because I went first and get to tell them what they're going to be asked, basically. But we all dressed up. Like, we were all talking, all of the finalists, we were all hanging out and talking. And what was actually cool about this internship, if you're somebody who wants to be an editor, I highly recommend looking into this because these people want to help everybody break into the industry, not just the 2 people they choose for the actual formal internship.
That's actually really cool.
And through those connections is how I got my first PA job. So everything leads to somewhere in this industry. But we all dressed up. We were all wearing like business clothing. Yeah, like I had a fucking business dress on, like that business material. Do you know what does anybody know what business material is?
Do I work in an office?
But you know what I mean? It's just that
I'm in my head, it's like that kind of like asymmetrical neckline.
No.
And
great.
Like hugging and you're wearing a skinny belt. That's what I'm picturing. And that's what she wore.
It was
and it was like a burgundy or like a charcoal gray.
This was it had a not fully striped, but kind of like a weird, funky accent tile wall thing, black and tan.
Okay.
Stripy, broken stripes. And it was as if you took a button-up shirt and made it a dress and cinched it at the waist.
Oh, that's actually cute.
And then I had a little blazer. And
I've
then,
never seen you wear a blazer.
You should have come to this interview with me before we met. But everybody was dressed up. People were in dress pants. People were like, it was a thing. And then the people on this panel were in fucking sweatpants.
So it was like Buffy, depressed Buffy.
They were they were dressed as depressed Buffy. But that was the moment I realized that, oh, you just kind of have to look like you didn't roll in the gutter first. You know, that's really all they care about.
Yeah.
And it also makes a lot of sense for film crew because you're doing a lot of physical labor, so they want you to just be comfortable. How mean would it be if you had to wear like a 3-piece suit while lugging fucking lights and
that would
C-stands all over the place? But nobody cares. Nobody cares about what I have to say, and that's why I started a podcast.
Oh, God.
It's just
I care what you have to say.
Thank you. I'm struggling. I struggle with the concept of being perceived.
Okay. No, I'm struggling with that too.
One of my favorite, it all boils down to the patriarchy making women feel like they can't take up space in the world.
There you go.
But one of my favorite quotes from a Noah Kahn song is, yes, I'm young and living dreams, in love with being noticed and afraid of being seen.
Yeah.
And that is one of my favorite quotes because it really hits hard. And I think a lot of people, and then specifically artists, can relate to that feeling because there is that element, at least for me, of nobody this is stupid. Like, why should I put this out there?
Yeah, nobody cares what I have to say. I'm stupid.
Like, I don't need to take up anybody's time. Like, I'm currently in pre-production for a short film I'm working on.
It's a really good short film.
Thank you. It's a script. It's not a film quite yet.
I read the script. It was amazing.
Thank you. But I've been really battling with that recently because I'm posting in Women in Film Facebook groups to try and track down some cool, like-minded, female DPs because I really want an all-female crew for this. I think that would be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Not opposed to talented men, but I just like women. Women are just
Well, Eric's gonna do the song.
Yeah,
So you got one guy.
I have a token male.
Yeah, he's the token male.
He's also in the post-production track, and I feel like the crew on set, also because I have to get naked in this film. But so I think I just want women around.
Sexy.
But so I'm posting in these areas, and I'm, to independently make your own project, you really have to not only take up space in that way, but you also have to actively ask for what you want. And I realized yesterday, after posting on a handful of these Facebook groups, that I felt so uncomfortable.
So hard.
Because I felt like, because I'm already asking, I'm at a disadvantage. I'm submissive in this situation. I'm also used to being pretty submissive in my life. I'm not used to being a dominant presence in a lot of areas. And this is an area where, like, I'm trying to make this film. I should be dominant.
Yeah.
But it's just uncomfortable. Like, I posted it and I was just sitting on my couch. Just, oh, my God, no.
Just like what I usually do if I'm like posting or asking for something directly, like if over text or something, is I'll write the text, I'll send it, and then I'll throw my phone across the room.
I've definitely done that. Just like, no.
I can't look at it.
Yeah, or sending that email and like slamming your laptop shut.
Throwing your laptop out the window.
Yeah. This, thankfully, I do that more with times when I have to be assertive about a need or boundary I have. I get very squirrely. But
it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to ask for what you need, and it's hard to ask for what you want.
Yeah. And then in particular with creating a film, I definitely keep sitting around thinking, no, this script is stupid.
It's not stupid. It's amazing.
Thank you. But you know what I mean? It's just like, because then my brain goes into that thing of feeling indebted to everyone who does anything for me, even if I pay them. And then my brain does that thing of, so people are going to give a lot of time and energy to this thing once we get that going. And they're going to think it's stupid.
I'm going to say this to you. I don't think people would sign on to do this project if they thought it was stupid.
That's true, because I'm also not going to be able to pay people the big bucks.
Yeah,
I'm going to be paying them probably the lowest they're willing to accept.
Because I mean, like, spoiler, I'm going to be one of the extras.
Hell yeah.
I would not.
You would be a bigger part if there was one.
That's okay. I don't mind.
I'm just clarifying. I didn't actively not cast my friend who's an
there's just
actor.
like, it's like a really small. There's just like two main characters, and one of them is Robyn, and one of them is a man, and I'm not a man.
No.
End of story. And I'm not Robyn. But like, I wouldn't sign on to be an extra if I didn't like the script.
Especially because extra work is boring as shit.
Exactly.
Thank you. It's just, learning. What's the saying? There's no growth in your comfort zone, and there's no comfort in your growth zone.
Beautiful.
So I'm currently in my growth zone and bloody uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'm in my growth zone too.
Yeah. The growing sucks, but it's good for you. When I have a crowdfunding campaign, it'll be linked if anybody wants to donate $1. $1.
Bet your bottom dollar.
Poison could develop a cold.
For everyone who doesn't know, that's from Guys and Dolls.
Yeah, it's kind of an annoying musical, I'm not gonna lie.
It's just that song.
It's just that song. Especially because the woman doesn't sneeze well. And I am a prolific fake sneezer.
Which woman? Like the woman who
Adelaide in that song.
Yeah, but like which? Like there's different
in the Broadway
recording,
or
okay.
the original Broadway soundtrack. But I will say, I would prefer to watch a musical with good singers and mediocre actors than great actors and mediocre singers.
Yeah, I think like we saw Anastasia like a couple years ago when it was the touring cast.
That was like 5 years ago.
That was so long ago. But like the actress who was playing Anastasia, I can't like she was an okay actress. But like I think once she started singing, we were just me in particular, I was like, holy fuck, this girl has like a killer voice. And everybody, that just like boom, I was into it,
Yeah, everybody was a great singer, and it's easier to watch a poorly shot film with good sound than an extremely well shot film with bad sound. Mm-hmm. It's easier to get past certain things when they're not purely auditory.
Yeah.
We took a lot of turns in this conversation.
I kind of liked it. This conversation had movement. It had direction. It was fun.
We had
it kept you on your toes.
Because I put my foot in my mouth.
Well, there was also that glitch where I didn't say anything.
Yeah, it was all your fault.
I'm just saying you were not the only one who glitched.
No, but I'm saying thank God this is a medium with which I can edit because I say stupid things all the time.
If it makes you feel better, I have a really funny story where I said something incredibly stupid. Would you like to hear it?
Yes.
Okay. So 7th grade. Picture this.
We went all the way back to 2007.
I'm a 12-year-old with undiagnosed ADHD. And my 7th grade journalism teacher is announcing to the class that she is pregnant. And I say, Miss Almula, finally getting some. Don't ask me why. I wanted to die. Everybody was laughing. I still revisit that moment in my nightmares to this day.
See, I don't think that's embarrassing because everybody was laughing because they thought what you said was funny.
Yeah, but it was also like, how could you say that, Adriana? I think it was laughing because they were like, what the fuck just came out of this girl's mouth?
I think if I was a teacher, I think I would have laughed.
I mean, we
if a
can
student said that
ask
to me.
my friend Olivia was in the class with me at the time, so she knows exactly what this moment was.
She'll be able to tell if people were laughing with you or at you.
And I think they were laughing at me.
And did you just black out and just shout it?
Yeah, I did.
Well, at least you knew where babies
I
came
think like what I remembered was the words came out of my mouth and it was like I was like dissociating. I'm like, who just said that? And then all of a sudden everyone was just looking at me and laughing and like I wanted to sink through the floor and die.
I think that's less of a you said something stupid and more of just a quirky moment.
I guess.
I was expecting you to say something painfully stupid.
I thought that was pretty stupid.
No, I meant like something like that makes you seem uneducated as a person.
I see. Yeah.
You know? I can't even think of an example, but something
Yeah.
like, what do you mean 30 is an even number? Like something like that.
Okay.
You know? I do remember
was
arguing
still-
with a girl in 5th grade about how 30's an even number. And she was like, no, it's odd because 3. And I was like, no, it's even.
Because 0.
Because 0. Yeah, she didn't get it. And she's probably in jail waiting for her empathy.
I think that's a good place to end it right there.
Thanks for putting up with this, guys. We're still figuring it out.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to hate myself so much. I'm trying to be okay with being perceived.
Yeah, we would love to hear from you. We could maybe do some listener mail during a chit chat episode.
Listener mail would be very fun. Questions, comments, and concerns.
Keep your concerns. We just want questions and comments about how great we are.
We just get concerns like, are you too good?
Are you guys okay?
Why do you guys think you should
Don't
be
worry,
doing
we're
this?
both in therapy.
Yes.
That should be the name of this episode.
We're both in therapy.
But join us next week.
Yeah, join us next week for our discussion on Blue is for Nightmares, the YA book that made me love
Witchcraft.
Yeah.
And join us for later chit chat episodes where we talk more about Buffy.
Yeah.
It's gonna
we'll
happen.
Probably just touch on Buffy every episode.
I kind of actually love that.
This is going to slowly just morph into a Buffy rewatch podcast.
And then we're
a
just
Buffy
going to read all the
discussion
Buffy
podcast.
comics that are out there.
I don't like comics.
Okay, well, I don't know how to help you.
I don't like graphic. I'm not a big graphic novel-y person. I feel the same way about it as I do cartoons.
No, that checks out for you.
Yeah. I had to read one graphic novel in college.
What graphic novel?
Mouse.
That's a good one.
I just have a really, it was great. It's one of those things I have to actively try. I don't get engrossed in it.
I see. I was a really big manga person, hence the Sailor Moon t-shirt that I'm wearing. So yeah, that's like.
I know what manga is, and that's about it.
Do you know what Sailor Moon is?
No. Well, you've probably mentioned it to me before.
I have. Basically, she's a magical space princess. Like, what is?
Oh, sure.
What is better than that? Nothing.
Xenon.
There's talking cats.
What about Xenon?
No, Sailor Moon. Sailor Moon is better. Also, the theme song from the 90s is just like the best theme song in the entire world. And I love it so much. And my friend Olivia, has never seen the cartoon, but she knows every single word to that theme song.
Because you wouldn't stop?
Because I would not stop singing it.
That's true friendship.
Yep.
All right, well, we'll see you guys next week. We're posting episodes every Wednesday. Every other Wednesday is a discussion of a young adult novel, and the others are this catastrophe.
I think this was great.
Like and subscribe. You can watch us on YouTube. You can.
It just went out.
Good night. Guess that's our sign.
That's our sign.
Watch us. Check us out on YouTube. Oh, it's back. Oh, only on one.
Cool.
Anyway, Well, we're available everywhere you listen to podcasts: Spotify, Google, Apple, and on YouTube. Follow us at Who Killed Your Darling Podcast.
And good night, and we love you.
Bye.
Who killed your darling?